guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a full face of makeup look for you using pretty much all the brand Innoxa, which is an Australian brand here in Australia, and I'm pretty sure you can get it at a few different places. Priceline is where I see the biggest displays, maybe some Targets, online of course through their website or through Priceline website. So I thought, what a good opportunity to be able to showcase and show you that you can really do a full face of makeup with Innoxa. There are a couple of products that I had to substitute out, but nothing major. So if you'd like to get this New Year's kind of Christmas inspired makeup look, then just keep watching. Okay guys, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is prime my skin. And to do that, I use my Innoxa Hydrating Primer. And I really love this because it's not like a silicone slippy primer. It's something that feels like skincare. It smells amazing. It really hydrates your skin. And I'm just going to pop a bit of that on the back of my hand. Just not too much. And tuck my hair behind my ears and pop that all over my face. Okay, so now that you've got your primer all on and soaking in, it's time to do your foundation. So I have the Innoxa Longwear, it's called the Everlast Foundation. And this one has, it says it has featuring blurring technology for a flawless complexion, 16-hour staying power. So it's their long wear. This one is in the shade Golden. This is their darker shade, and I have to say I do find it a little bit light for my skin, but I wanted to do this using all the Innoxa products. So I love the texture of this though. It's really moussey. Pop a little bit on the back of my hand, and then the product that I do have that's not Innoxa, just to make it a little bit more tan to suit me, is this Revlon Skin Lights Photo Ready. It's just a bronze little tinge, and I just add a little bit of that to the top of that foundation, and that just helps make it a bit more bronzy because I'm actually quite dark. If you have a look at my neck, and my face is a lot more pale because I don't really sun my face. So I'm just going to dot that on my skin, and the texture of this foundation is really beautiful. It's like I said, it's that moussey texture. You feel like you're going to get a lot of coverage. It's going to sit well most of the day. Probably by the end of the day, I find, like, because I do have allergies, I'm almost always wiping around my nose. So I find that I get a lot of breakage of the foundation around my nose. Then I just get my Real Techniques blending sponge, which I just love. You can see it's like really well used. And I just pat that into my skin. Okay, so now that that's all blended in, the other thing that's not Innoxa, which I'm going to use just to conceal under my eyes, is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Medium. So just where you see my under eye kind of bags, I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer over that. Especially being a New Year's Christmas inspired look, we want to look really flawless under our eyes. So get your beauty blender and start blending, just patting gently into under the eye. I'm going to move on to my eye makeup because that's kind of what I want to focus on with Christmas and New Year's glam. So there's a couple of palettes I wanted to show you. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but they sent me, Innoxa did, because I've been doing a little bit of work with them, and they so kindly sent me a lot of their palettes, and I'm in love. Like, I've been using, this one's called Peach Perfection. I've been using that every day, and it's got like a nice creamy shimmer shade, a golden shade, a peach shade, and a bronze shade. I should actually open that so you can see it. So really wearable, pretty summer colors. And then this one, other one I wanted to show you is called Charcoal Crush. I wore this the other night when I had like more of a smoky eye. And that's, you know, your classic charcoal colors with a lighter shade to highlight your brow bone. and charcoal. This one here, like a blacky charcoal color, is really gorgeous for the outer corner, and if you want to smoke up under your eye as well. So that is definitely an option for Christmas glam, but I want to do a bit of a bright lip as well, like a shiny bright lip. So I might stick with a little bit more of a neutral eye. I wanted to show you this one as well. So this one is called the Eye Lift Kit, and this is gorgeous. It comes like in a beautiful big mirror. It has a primer in it for your eyelid, a highlight. Hang on, no, not the highlights. Primer's here, highlight here, contour here, and define and highlight. So that's a highlight there, and that's a, what is that? Define. I really love this. I love this. If you do have a fairer skin, this would be absolutely perfect. I find with my skin tone, I can almost go a little bit darker, but this is a beautiful everyday palette, and I wanted to show you, and I probably will do a tutorial with this palette because it's just so good for every day. And if you want to do like more of a red lip, that would be perfect. Let's get some of that prime from this palette, the Eye Lift, and it's a cream, so you can just do it with your fingers. Let's pop some of that on, and this is just going to help our eyeshadow last through the entire party or whatever you're going to. Maybe this is for Christmas Day and you just want a bit of a glam look. It's just going to help last, and it's going to help not to crease. Happy with that. So let's get that bronze shade in on your fluffy crease and start moving in windshield wiper motions very carefully, because it is the darker shade and you don't want to just be slapping it on and it's going everywhere. That's just not a pretty look. You can see how far I brought that color up because it's looking good. I like that. And just I keep kind of like going here and just making sure I'm not coming too far down on the lid. So now that I've kind of got that happening, I'm going to get a more flat shadow brush. Any brush will do. And I'm going to get some of this golden shade here and just pat this onto the lid. You can see how pigmented these colors are. And honestly, it really surprised me. I never realized that Innoxa had such beautiful eyeshadows. And they really are. They're really pigmented. They don't take, like, the color payoff is good. Okay, so now I've got the bronzy colors laid down. I'm just going to get that charcoal palette again and just use the blackest color and try to amp up the corner crease a little bit. And this, I'm using just a fluffy pointy brush because I didn't bring any other of my tiny brushes down with me. But you can see straight away that it gives plenty more depth. Plenty more depth. Does that make sense? That it gives more depth. Plenty of depth. See how I've got that quite deep now, but I think the key is to just put a little bit on, blend, then check. Put a little bit on, blend, and check. I wouldn't just whack a whole lot of product on because you'll end up hating it, you'll end up regretting it. So it's quite dramatic, but it's like, you know, it's subtle because I've taken the time to blend it. I must say that the palettes that I've been sent are all shimmer colors. So if you want something that's more day-to-day, I would go with the Eye Lift palette, which are all matte and all very day-to-day wearable. So just so you know. All right, so now, because I'm going to wear lashes today, I've just got the Innoxa Soft Kohl Eye Pencil, which is, just as it says, a black soft kohl pencil. And I'm just going to fill in at the lash line. So when I put my lashes on, it doesn't look too naked down there, if you know what I mean. So I'm just looking at my eyes and I'm not like, I can see that there's quite a bit up here that needs to be blended, and like, don't freak out. If you see that, just grab your blending brush and start working those colors around again. Don't put any more product on. Just fluff it out and blend that sucker. So now that I've put my eyeliner on, I'm going to put some lashes on. And these are Colette lashes, which I actually got sent to me, but I really wanted to try them, so it's a perfect chance. And I'm going to use these pretty fluffy ones in the middle, but I'm going to do this off camera because I take a ridiculous amount of time to do my lashes. So now I'm going to do some contouring. So to do that, I've got my Soft Effect Contour. This is probably my favorite palette out of everything I've been sent. I would say 100% favorite. And I didn't bring my contour brush, which is annoying. That's okay, I'll use my blush brush to do everything. So the first thing I do, this is a matte contour. It's a very cool shade, so it's going to be awesome when you're doing your contour. So I just look and eyeball, okay, I need more of a cheekbone here. So I suck in my cheek and just start adding some color in there. Also put this under my jawline. This is because I have a very round face and it just helps to slim it out a little bit. I've always had a very round face. It's just what I have been given. So making shadow under here is really flattering and it brings more attention to the center of your face. You can, even if you've got quite a high forehead, you can put it a little bit of shadow up the top here and it just brings the focus more again to the center of the face. Do you like my Christmas nails? I got them done yesterday. They're just like nail polish. I'm not doing false nails at the moment. I'm going through a stage. Okay, and this one's a bronzer in the middle. So sometimes I put this on, sometimes I don't. I'll just put a little bit to warm up my face. I should also let you know that before I started the video, I actually did my eyebrows. I filled them in with my Zubias Soft Taupe pencil because I also didn't have an Innoxa pencil, so I thought I don't want to be obnoxious and Innoxa obnoxious and not have a lot of Innoxa products because that's what this video is about. Yeah, so that's that. Another amazing bronzer which they sent me is the Radiant Soleil bronzer. I'll show you. This is really quite dark and what I use this mostly for is contouring. So if you are really dark and you cannot find a bronzer, look at that, like already so much darker. If you're really dark and you can't find a bronzer to like deepen your face, go with the Radiant Soleil from Innoxa. Now I'm going to use my Innoxa blush, which is called Coral Lily. Also a really pretty color. And I just get a little bit of that on my blush brush. Do this pretty face. Just a little bit. It's quite pigmented. So you don't need to like dip your brush in too much because it just comes out quite fast. Great. And so now while I'm still on bronzing and contouring, in that palette again, the soft contour, I'm going to use the highlight shade on a fan brush and just pop that on the high points of your cheeks. This one's a really subtle highlight, but I'm kind of going through that phase at the moment where I don't want too much. You can see it just gives you like a little glow. So the last thing I have to do before, oh, second last, I've got this Innoxa Invisible Lip Shaper. And this is brilliant. It's a brilliant creation because you don't have to worry about have I got the perfect lip liner color for my lipstick. It's all in this little nifty clear lip definer. So I'm just going to trace my lips. And you can't even see it, but it just gives you a little bit of definition. Then I've got these awesome little volume lip crayons. And I've got two shades. I've got this one in Almost Nude, which is a pinky nude. And then this one is called Coral Crush, which is just as it says, it's a really pretty coral. So I'm going to use this one today because we're going a bit more Christmassy, a bit more New Year's, and we can afford to have a bit more color on our face when we are dressing for a party. So grab your little thing, and it's just like a windable lip plumper almost, because it's got that gloss to it. So that's your lip colour. You can see it's really shiny, really glossy and pretty. I'm going to do one more thing before I finish up. I have my Innoxa anti-aging makeup setting spray, and this is just going to help everything look not cakey, not creasy, because like I said, as you're getting a bit older, you can get quite a bit of creasing under your eyes here in these smile lines, and it just helps everything to set really well. So it's a beautiful fine mist. Look, you can't even see it. This is probably one of the best setting sprays that I've personally used, because it doesn't squirt out product. It's like, it is a fine mist. So put some of that on and just fan yourself off if you have a fan. What do I have here? I have a photo. I can use this. Fan yourself off. It'll dry really quickly. It's just going to lock everything in place. And guys, you are done. You look ready for your Christmas party. I've got my beautiful Colette necklace here and just some simple studs, which is just really classic and clean look. So I love this makeup look. I really hope that you do too. It's very Christmas, very party appropriate, New Year's appropriate. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next, please leave me a comment down in the comment box below. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would hit that little red button and subscribe, and then you'll be notified when I do have another video up. I intend to do a lot more videos for you, so make sure that you do subscribe. And also I'm over on Instagram, pretty active over there, so I'll put my Instagram down the bottom now and you can check me out there. Otherwise guys, I hope you're having an amazing Christmas. It's Christmas in 2 days here, and I'm so excited. Christmas is my favorite time of year, so whatever you're doing, stay safe and happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.